Hello and welcome to the show.
You record?
Yeah, it's recording.
Well, how about that?
Well,
There's an intro.
There it is. You just kind of you hit record and you never know what'll happen. And wow, we found the intro. Hello.
It's the same thing about how children are conceived.
Exactly. You throw it in. It's like a hot dog down the hallway, and you never know what's going to happen. I really want to take a puff of this Juul cigarette.
Yeah.
A Juul thing. Not good for the kids.
Enjoyable?
It was not.
Yeah.
No,
you built
it
it up and then it wasn't.
You know what it is? I'll do it like once like a month now, and it's not
You ever
good.
smoke cigarettes?
Sometimes, but not really.
They're much cooler than that.
Yeah. Do you know what I dislike when you have to go to the doctor and they're like, "Do you smoke cigarettes?" And I'm like, "Sometimes at parties." And they're like, "What does that mean? Are you a smoker?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a smoker, but like if someone has a cigarette at a party, I'll say yes." And they're like, "So you're a smoker?" And I'm like, "No, don't write that on my chart. What are you doing? Don't write that on my chart."
You like to keep a clean chart.
Yeah, dude. I like to keep a clean chart. They're like, "How much do you drink?" I'm like, "I don't."
My doctor's like a bro. Like I didn't go to the doctor for years, and he was like giving me fist pounds, giving me his political leanings.
Oh God, my doctor is like a 60-year-old woman who's like, "Well, would you like cookies? It's not good for your cholesterol, but I could bake them for you."
Who is this doctor?
I don't know. It's very uncomfortable. She's like, "Are you sexually active?" I hope not, because it looks like you're not married. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe I should find a new doctor.
Your priest?
I think I might be talking about my pediatrician. I don't know. Although both asked me to take my pants off, so it's very confusing sometimes.
Well said.
Am I here for confession or
Well, you get all
physical?
done. That's nice. You go to one where you kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
You get an annual checkup, and you also repent for yourself.
A body cleanse and a soul cleanse at the same time.
Good for you.
That's what I try to do. Oh, well, this is it's nice to be here with you.
It's always a pleasure.
Here to chat, here to hang, and drink a couple claws, and have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's all life's about. How is your week going?
It's good.
Real loaded question that hopefully you were prepared for.
Well, better than that New Yorker editor, that Tubin dude who just started jerking off in the middle of a.
Who is that? I haven't even seen this.
Yes, you have. The guy from the fucking New Yorker who is also like a CNN pundit.
Oh, is this the guy who got caught
masturbating? Yes,
on a Zoom call or something?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that everybody's worst nightmare?
There's so many questions. And I feel like we're judging this guy and we're attacking him because, yes, it seems like we're all going to end in the same place. He probably shouldn't have done it.
First of all, I'm assuming that he thought that he was no longer on the Zoom call.
Sure.
Right? And if he just was doing it and he was like, "I'm on the Zoom call, this is my opportunity," very weird.
What you're right about
strange stuff.
What you're right about is like it seems like this guy's a long career and that hasn't been an issue yet, right?
So I'd assume
he's
that
someone
he
who
was
fucked a secretary or something, has a kid out of with an employee. It seems like he's fucked someone in the past. But my point is like. A guy doesn't just start jerking off on a Zoom call wanting to. He would have jerked off in the office.
I'd have to think that this was...
There's old Tubin jerking off again in the morning meeting. Like, he didn't, Yes, he obviously thought he was not on the Zoom.
This was definitely, I without knowing anything about the story, this was absolutely something that he was like, "All right, guys, so, leading a meeting."
Imagine
and then
being that horny, though.
He hung up.
Because, like, the benefit of working from home is you have much more free time than you ever would.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there was literally 8 other hours in the day that he could have fit in a jerk off.
Well, listen, maybe he had a call in like 20 minutes. He's got to squeeze it in.
But that would have been more appropriate.
Well,
of that, he jerking
that's
off
what I'm
on the
saying.
phone call and muting it would have been more polite than what he did.
I mean, maybe he thought he was off the call. That's the whole...
No, we agree on that. He obviously did. But the bigger issue, like, this is a good opportunity because this is a new world of etiquette we have to teach.
True.
So what we can all get behind is do not jerk off within or before within. Like within give a 15-minute grace period before any jerking off if you're going to be on, like, before and after of Zoom calls.
This is why I think you should have separate computers.
Wow.
A work computer, and then you go to
that
another.
Everyone knows anyone who has 2 computers, that will just start assuming that they're chronic masturbators.
Just be like, "Where are you going?" "Oh, my other computer."
Oh, he's jerking off.
Or your jerk off computer?
Yeah.
Also,
don't use a computer for jerking off.
I don't either.
No, but why would stop?
Use your phone.
Also, leave. If you're in the middle of a 20-person Zoom call, and you're that horny,
well,
excuse yourself
yeah.
for fucking.
Excuse me, guys.
It's weird to use that same platform that you also were just on a Zoom for. Like,
it's just like all this talk about spreadsheets has really got me going.
The Bosnian genocide that's going on. Let me please doesn't go jerk off in the middle of this. Like, what got him horny? That's my point. We're chastising this man. We have questions to ask him, and I think he should have to walk us through. You're right, an intern.
I mean, brought down the presidency, an intern.
I didn't.
Bill Clinton?
It was fine.
I mean, kind of, but still,
Yeah.
An intern, weak man, a weak hero.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
A weak hero man.
Poor Tubin. Like, what do you do?
What was that sigh? Were you bored?
Well, I'm thinking about what does he do now?
That made me very self-conscious. You were just like,
no. I'm wondering about Tubin.
That was very much a I can't wait to get out of here sigh.
No, it's a more I'm worried about Tubin.
Okay.
What does he do?
What's his first name?
I don't know.
You're very worried about someone who you only know his last name.
Well, and I know nothing about the article.
Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that
I read half the article and stopped? I just moved on.
In one act, the entire world goes from not knowing anything about you.
No, he's on CNN.
Yeah, but I'd never heard of him.
Which, by the way, that gig is the best gig ever.
CNN?
Any political pundit where they just tell you, show up at these hours and talk about nothing for 15 minutes. You're on. You get paid like a couple $100,000 a year to,
make a ton of money.
Sometimes like 6 figures. Yeah, or 7 figures to go do that.
I got a question for you. So springboarding off of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you also had this dream as a child when you were a kid and you were like, well, I mean, I could be a professional athlete when I grow up. I don't know if you also felt that way.
As a child?
Do you still feel that way?
I got 2 more years, I feel like.
Do you ever when they talk about LeBron at like 35 and they're like he's in his prime and I'm like I haven't even hit 35 yet.
What are they talking about? I'm still going to be downside of it now, and they okay. The weird part is when you start getting video games and they're younger than you and them.
It's very odd.
Like that's the part where you're like, fuck.
I'm like rooting for.
I might not be the first draft pick at the NFL draft next year. That was like the reality to me. I was like, shit.
I have, at 16, you're like, I have 2 to 3 more years where I could turn into a number 1 draft pick.
Also, when we were kids, do you remember that movie, The Rookie, where he slips on the fucking ball and he's then, I just assumed at some point that happens to all of us.
Angels in the outfield, I assumed
100%.
that would all happen.
I was going to hit like 300 for the Yankees and bet third.
Yeah. Those are things you have to be ready for and expect are going to happen.
And it seems like the clock is ticking and I'm going in the wrong direction. I'm not happy about it. It's not what anyone needs. It's,
Listen, all our lives went different ways than we expected.
But that is one of the hardest things to deal with as a young male.
Accepting that you're not going to be an athlete.
Yes.
So here's
that cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wear sneakers now to work.
Yeah, that's cool though.
It's fucking really
depends on the sneaker.
I don't even know what they are. I look like someone
I
look like someone who's made peace. That
okay.
Comfort is my main goal.
I mean, that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
We used to not make fun of, but like the person who do you wear sneakers to the office and then change into your work shoes?
No.
Yeah, like the walking sneakers. Like I can't walk in work shoes.
Yeah, that guy's a dick.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough moment in your life when you're like, I'm the guy who wears sneakers
How do you
on
feel
the
about
street
sitting at work?
It's not even like you're trekking. You're not trekking
you're not plowing a field.
You're not walking or hiking.
You're literally walking.
You're literally walking
ground.
on a sidewalk. Yeah. You're not hiking the Appalachian
I guess
Trail.
like San Francisco, you can make an argument for because you are
hills.
Yeah,
but it doesn't get icy there. It gets icy here.
It's true, but it's always cold. It sucks.
It's true. Yeah.
How do you feel about shitting in the office?
I'm fine with it. I actually do. When I was working at when I was in an office every day.
Yeah.
That was one of those things in high school. Before I went to college, I was mortified of shitting anywhere other than my home.
I'm often that way.
Hold it like I would never shit at school. It was a nightmare.
Like, would you shit in Penn Station?
Yeah. If I had to, I'm not gonna want to, but at the office,
I find that deplorable.
After lunch, just go shit. In the morning, I would have a coffee, go shit. I've shit in multiple courthouses in Massachusetts.
Have you ever been somewhere? See, that's fucking crazy.
And they're disgusting there.
Yeah, I'm sure they should be.
Listen, if
Someone's
you're
fighting
about to
for their life, the danger of that shit.
If you're about to like start a trial or something, and you have to like it's game time. You can't hold it. You can't go back to the office.
I don't feel good about that at all.
It's not great. You get to look at the graffiti. That's nice.
People graffiti.
Oh yeah.
So let me get this straight. So you're about to go to you're standing trial.
Prosecuting someone. I'm not.
I'm saying like someone. I'm assuming
yeah.
Like you didn't graffiti.
No.
Like get warmed up for the case by graffitiing something.
Yeah, people would.
I'm assuming it's someone who's like that's. You're right. It could be a family member. I guess there's a lot of different people. But it's funny that in that scenario, nonetheless, there's something very important about to go on in the courtroom, and you felt that you had to artistically express yourself on the side of a bathroom door.
Listen, when
door.
When you feel the urge to write "fuck the judge," you got to do it.
No,
that's like a pretty pretty common one.
Yeah. Fuck the judge.
Fuck the judge.
There's never a
fuck the
TH.
Judge. Nope, never.
Wow.
Never. That's a favorite one. People write it in marker and then they carve it into the wood of the benches.
I prefer the carvers.
Yeah.
There's romanticism. There's
more commitment. I'll tell you that.
It's romantic.
It's like carving your name into a tree with a loved
exactly.
one. Right? Alice and Sonia.
I like when people leave their numbers.
For a good time.
No, but I would like someone who just leaves it to chat. Okay.
All the ones is like chat for a good time, chat for this.
It's like a fucked up Shawshank Redemption you were leaving there.
You're
like
leaving
people
a letter.
Leaving notes and
under the lava rock.
Yeah. Do you
a rock that has no earthly place being here, something like that? You know.
Do you so you would take a shit there, no problem, and go on about your day?
Yeah, no problem. I used to be terrified, like I said, and then I went to college. And I remember when I first went to college, I held it.
Tough times for me,
dude. I held it for like a week.
Yeah,
and then
dorms.
I finally was like, "You gotta go."
Dorms gave me hell.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I'd wait weird hours of the night.
Oh, that was me too. I used to
like
go
a drug addict, but I was just taking a shit.
So bad.
Yeah,
like, are you sneaking stuff into the door?
So that was the problem.
Hold on. This go back to my first question. If you could, as an athlete, what do you think is the best position in any sport if you had to be a professional athlete? What's the most favorable, best thing you could be?
Obviously a quarterback. But
is it though?
I think the quarterback in college football, like if you're the number one quarterback in college football, it's the best. It's better than even being a professional athlete.
I mean, is it though? Like if you have all that pressure, like if you're a quarterback in the NFL, like would you rather be LeBron James or would you rather be the 12th man on the bench playing for the championship Lakers?
That's a completely different question.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
would I rather be? I'd rather be LeBron James. What? Why would I not rather be LeBron?
I mean, I guess maybe.
You guess? Who wants to be the 12th guy?
Someone who just wants to chill.
What you're trying to allude to is that that's still a good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great life. But you still rather be LeBron James.
Yeah, probably.
You're essentially being like, do you want to be like the guy on the back of the boat with George Washington as he crosses the Delaware? Would you like to be George Washington? The answer is you probably want to be George Washington.
True. Okay, I think this
is... some people in Portland are going to rip down your statues one day and talk about all the awful shit that you ever did. You'll have wooden teeth. It turns out being there were slave teeth. We get it. I understand. But at least you were still George Washington. The guy on the back of the boat, probably just as much of a piece of shit. We don't ever talk about him.
That's true.
Painting somewhere in the mat.
That's true. That is true. He's barely in it. We don't even know his name.
Probably died off.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever looked up? I don't think there are any descendants of George Washington left, and I don't think there are any descendants of Abraham Lincoln left.
Is that true?
Yeah, I've looked it up.
Wow. My family's around from before the Revolution.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely owned slaves.
Yeah.
Really?
They did.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you apologizing for that in 2020?
It's a great question. I often apologize every day.
Really?
Because
where did where did your family live?
New York.
Before the Dutch?
So there's a poor that marries a French. By the way, everyone, this is the Ancestry DNA episode.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Sponsored by Ancestry DNA. Find a serial killer. Please give us your saliva.
That really
and
backfired.
find out your stepsister. Like, find out who your dad fucked or who your grandfather fucked, and then find your deranged aunt that was from another marriage in some weird town in, like, Iowa.
It seems oddly specific for you.
Well, no, okay. This is actually a good. Have you?
I want to hear the story. I think the people
poor
want to hear
family story.
Yeah.
Or the ancestry DNA, because I'm obsessed with how fucked.
Oh,
that's fucked so many people.
The serial killer one?
No, but even more so, like, you know how many people found out that they fucking, like, their grandpa who they loved was a scumbag and had a whole other fucking family?
No.
That's the biggest thing that's come from this.
Really?
Like,
I haven't.
A lot of, like, very anti-Semite people found out that they were also part Jewish. That was another great thing that came from this.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And, like, oh, like, you know, you found out that you thought you were 100%
I
Greek.
hate myself.
Like you owned a diner and you were this Greek person, but then you found out that, like, you're you know.
I think my favorite thing would be watching Italians find out that they're not Italian.
Well, no, but
that would be the best.
There was so many people who found out, like, they have a cousin somewhere in fucking Staten Island
that's pretty good.
Or like a half sister who's just because their dad was fucking literally everyone on the Eastern Seaboard.
Hey, I can't even cook this pasta no more because I'm not Italian. I
like that a lot.
That's actually real nice. I thought it was this one.
You thought you were going to get a laugh. Yeah.
That one was more appropriate.
It did work well.
Ugh, so upsetting. Sorry, I interrupted. You seemed very passionate about this. Ancestry.
No, I don't.
Okay, good.
I'm passionate about nothing.
I'm ready to move on also.
I hope we never talk about any of this again.
So hold on. I want to get back to that question of if you currently in your current shape, athletic ability.
No, this is much better now.
Right?
You're shaping this question up as we proceed. Yeah.
We're able to get on a team.
Yeah.
We're not going to be a star. Neither of us, right?
No,
we're not going to be stars.
Yeah.
But like, say you got the arm speed to be a pitcher. What is?
Wait. You're weird. You're giving me one trait that I don't have.
No. I'm saying, like, if you could get into a professional sports organization.
Yeah.
What sport would you want to play in for one? What would be the best sport to not be a star in, but to be part of the league? I have my answer.
Please give me yours first.
I think it's basketball. I think it would be best. I think being the 12th guy off the bench on an NBA team is much better than being a scout team player in the NFL. Right?
No, they're different, though, because you're not on the practice squad.
When you are the 12th man.
Being a backup, like a football player who never plays, is fucking great.
But when you're the 12th man on, like, a third-string running back or a third-string, like, O-lineman who doesn't really play, third-string corner who plays maybe, like, in garbage time.
Yeah.
It's not bad. But still, also, people want to play football. I don't want to get hit.
No, but that's why being a backup baseball player is probably the best fucking thing ever.
A reliever?
Relievers are the best.
I mean, dude, being
a guy who's like a third-string catcher.
It's not bad.
Who just like hangs out and plays like one, or even a backup.
But then
catcher.
You gotta
play once a week.
You know what it would be? Being like the fourth guy in a rotation, fourth or fifth guy in a rotation.
But the expectations are super
There's
low. But
no expectation. Every time you pitch, they're like, "Can you win?"
Yeah,
but they're not expecting.
You have a couple great games a year. You have sets in a row.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
A couple $1 million a year.
So I think it would be basketball though. I think basketball would be the best.
Well, baseball you have the longevity too, which is nice.
True, but basketball you get the lifestyle. I think basketball has.
What
the
about
best
any of this
lifestyle.
versus being an astronaut? You wouldn't want to be an astronaut.
I love space, but it freaks me out. I'd get nervous that like I'd like my helmet would
I also
fall
realized
off.
we just lost a flat earther community.
Ah, fuck.
Right away.
That's a big part of our.
Well, that's what
audience.
I was really hoping that we tap into that base. I wanted them.
Damn it! You know what's crazy is that people actually believe that the Earth is flat now.
No, a lot of people.
Actually, you know what's crazy? That people believe that the Earth is round. It's so insane.
It is.
You're
right. Bring it back.
So crazy.
I love what you're fucking doing. Rope them back
so insane that like you could watch the news, have the internet, and still believe that the Earth is round. I mean, what are you, a goddamn psychopath?
Yeah, like
I don't know.
No. How dare us?
How dare us presume?
Yeah.
that we know if
It's obviously fucking
the
flat.
shape of the Earth.
I've seen a map.
Yeah, I've seen a map too. It's like a little butterfly.
100%.
You know, clearly. What else did I want to talk to you about?
Flat earthers, and we hate them. No, we rub them in.
No, we like them.
Oh,
we're big flat Earth fans.
Thought that was on the docket for today.
Christian and I, as podcasters, supporters of flat Earth and Scientology. That's all we care about.
Mainly those two things. Yeah.
Mainly those two things. If there were two things that I could think that I'm a big fan of, it would be flat Earth and Scientology.
And
right?
people who defend soup as being a hearty meal. We're with them too. Those are our third group.
I mean, you might have lost me there.
I mean, look, they're paying the bills. They're our sponsor.
Campbell's.
Nope, not Candles. It's bone broth.
Wait, Campbell's contacted me. Bone broth contacted you?
Look, they're pinning us against each other.
Bone broth. When you want soup, but you only
don't have money.
Bone broth. Soup for the poor.
Bone broth. When it's the 1800s and you're living in a black plague.
Bone broth. Anything goes.
Bone broth. Why not take a bath and eat at the same time?
Bone broth. When you only have salt and water.
Bone broth. Soup, but for not pussies. That kind of is what it is.
I think, yeah.
Bone broth's much tougher than soup.
Listen, I think we could get probably 10 more of those going.
Yeah, but no one wants to hear them.
You know,
So what about this? Would you rather be a pirate, Viking, or a cowboy?
Ooh, that's good. That's a good question. I would think pirate, Viking, cowboy. If you were going to be a cowboy, so I'm assuming this is all back when they were in their prime. So you couldn't be a present-day pirate.
No, you're in the, you're like
and cowboy, we're talking like 1800s, settling the U.S. Okay. Viking, pirate, cowboy. I think I'm going cowboy.
Like, what's the reasoning?
Are we also, when we go cowboy, are we going like villain cowboy?
I mean, that's for you to decide.
We also have, because that's also, you could be like a cowboy, a good cowboy.
I'm not here to decide your morality.
But you can't really be a good pirate or a good Viking.
I don't know if you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean. That was complex.
Are you going to pick pirate but be like, I would only be Orlando Bloom the pirate?
Well, so my problem is that I've asked this question many times in my life, and I've pondered it over. I'm actually getting a doctorate in this exact subject.
Are you?
And
what university?
I don't know. Cowboy U. I don't have a
DeVry.
DeVry. Yeah, okay. Phoenix University, our new sponsor. Online makes a lot of sense.
Phoenix University. When you want to learn
bone broth,
but you don't want to leave your bed. Do you want to learn while drinking soup?
When you've done heroin and you haven't taken the SAT. Phoenix University.
When you have a cut on your hand, but you also want to surf the web. Bone broth. DeVry University. What are we talking about?
You're right. Yeah. I feel that, well, okay, so the problem with being a cowboy or a pirate is you never get a cold drink. Imagine all your drinks being warm for the rest of your days. That's problematic.
That's pretty, wow. That's very specific.
It is.
But it's
a very important point. Like,
yeah.
When's the last time you had warm water and enjoyed it?
They had ice when you were cowboys.
Where?
Ice?
What the how?
I think you could get drinks on ice. I'm
in
pretty
the saloon,
sure.
You think there was just a cooler?
I think so. They had block ice that they would chip off.
They didn't.
Also, certain parts of Wyoming, it got very cold. I don't want to shit on and like deconstruct or break down.
Okay, you're making an argument for your cowboy life. Good for you. Pirate seems to be the worst because pirates treat other pirates poorly.
Yeah.
Vikings seem like there's the best standard of living within your Viking life, but it's a lot of raping and pillaging.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to do that?
I mean, we all do, but every day?
It's too much.
Once a month is one thing, but they seem like they're always just, it's never ending.
I like to do nothing. We don't even like to go to work. Can you imagine if you had to, like, you have to wake up to just go to an office?
That's also kind of being a cowboy.
It's true.
You just fucking venture off.
That's true. That's tough.
We always act like they're always doing something, but I'm sure a lot of them did very little.
I don't think today we're prepared to do any of the jobs. Because really, like, if you think about it, how much we whine and complain about going to the office, we wouldn't be able to handle, like, waking up to just get on a ship to pillage another ship or pillage a town or rob a bank.
You couldn't handle it. You took the heel in all these scenarios.
I did. I really don't. You know what? It's set up.
Yeah.
It's set up to say, you're going to be a bad cowboy. Because there are no good Vikings and there are no good pirates. And also, I picked cowboy because I don't think I want to be stuck on a boat all the time.
So the flat earthers are gone, and now the Swedish and the Nordic regions are all gone.
Yeah.
So we're left with the good state of Wyoming is the only listener of this podcast. So God bless them.
That's who we need.
Travel to Wyoming.
That's all we need. That's all we need, baby. What was I going to say? I have a good question. I saw this recently. So I was having this discussion, this argument with someone. Do you think men and women, very controversial topic. No. Do you think that men and women can be platonic friends, true platonic friends?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I was younger, I would have said absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I also think it starts to change.
Mm-hmm.
And that was talking with Dr. Phil. No, I don't think
bone broth.
The reality, this is the reality of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think guys who go out of their way to mention platonic friendships, they want to fuck that chick, and that's the white knight guy. Like that's the guy who wants to get fucked, and he's weird about it. Like, you can, like, I'm friends with my fiance's friends to some extent, right? And like I'm friends with my friends' wives, but I don't have a lot of chicks in my life that I like. Had a rough day at work. What do you like? You want to blow off some steam and watch the game? And I don't think that any women are interested in any of my. I think they find me deplorable, where a friendship would never make any sense.
That's a good point.
Like, I don't think Kelly's my friend. I don't think that like my fiance in herself is my friend. I think she finds me to be mostly like obnoxious in my hobbies.
Like if you guys weren't in a relationship, you would never hang out.
Like she's strictly my partner. Exactly. Well, no. I think we. Well, yeah. I guess you're right. Yeah. Not sad. The sadness over. What a bummer. What a tough time.
Don't worry. This is going to be the third or fourth episode. She won't ever listen this far.
No, but there's certain guys who can pull it off, though. I'm just not one of them.
So,
like, I feel like you could have a platonic female relationship and be fine with it.
So you want to know my thoughts?
Yeah.
So I think
I just want to continue on with mine for an hour and a half.
I would actually love to hear only your thoughts. So here are my thoughts. The only time that I think this applies if you're in a relationship or you're married, I think it's different and easier.
Yeah.
I think you can truly be friends with like your partner's friends, female friends, without having this like weird attraction kind of undertone. I think when you're single, I think it's very difficult. And the reality is, I think that a lot of women can say, absolutely, I can be friends with guys. I think a large percentage of the time, the men in those platonic relationships
want to fuck.
Yeah. And that's, I would say, maybe not entirely, but I say that a large portion of that relationship is based on not even that they want to, but like if the opportunity came out, it would happen.
Well, no, but I also think women do the same thing where it is still like people judge each other by would you have sex with you? Like when you see someone, you go, will this person fuck me?
Yeah. I think the only time it works if parties are single, that you can be friends. A guy can be friends with if you turn difficulty. Yeah, if you tighten that, it shouldn't fall.
I'm having limp dick.
Oh my God.
There we are. We're back.
Just keep sliding down. I think the only time that it can work out in that sense of a platonic relationship between men and women who are single is if the man does not find the female attractive.
No, there's certain guys though who are like cool about, and but you're right.
I think
okay. What you're saying is that
at the core of it,
yes,
that's the only time that it'll work,
like without fail. Yes. Yeah. There's certain people who like get cool, and once again, though, that's the thing with age. Mm-hmm. The problem is like when you're younger, the idea of like platonic friendships where that guy wants to fuck.
Yeah,
that's why I also have this weird thing with guys who are like feminist, male feminists.
Snakes.
They want to fuck.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
Snakes in sheep clothing.
Yeah, it's
Wolves
a very weird fucking way to go do those kind of things. Like, you could be like, hey, there's fucked up things that goes on, and there's this and there's that, but to pretend that like that guy's not white knighting you. White knights are the scariest people in the entire world, and those are also the guys who are friends with chicks.
Yeah, and those are the guys who often get accused of sexual assault.
100%.
90% of the time.
Well, those are the guys who
that's
also
what
like
happens.
When there's a bad breakup, she calls him and they watch a movie. Like, what does that guy want to do? He wants to fuck.
Yeah, he's not trying to be your friend.
No.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've never been the white knight, but I have had female friends who I've been super attracted to. Where when they break up with someone, we go out for drinks, and I'm like, it's almost like I've been the I'm not proud of it.
You have nicer. Like, you also come off as like you are a nicer guy than I am. Like, okay, no, but
that's very generous.
I have Christian. I don't have platonic relationships with almost every female friend that I have.
I think it's very tough.
Is a friend of my girlfriend's, a friend like my friend's wife, my friend's girlfriend, a friend of my fiance's, or it's like a fucking someone's sister or something. Like, I don't have friends who are.
I think it would be very tough, especially.
But I don't think it's because of me. Maybe it also may be because I think women find me deplorable. Like, no chick wants to talk about like Aaron Judge's batting average, in the 7th inning of games and his OPS. I also think I don't cater to any of that.
No, it would also be tough too if you're in a relationship. Can you imagine being like, "Oh, I'm going out tonight, Kelly," and she's like, "Who are you going out with?" "Oh, Stephanie from work."
Yeah,
just hanging out. We're just friends. Well, that would never fly.
Well,
never.
And Kelly and I don't have, vice versa. Kelly doesn't have any guy friends that are just her friends that they hang out with.
I mean, would you even be okay with that? Would you be totally fine with that if it was?
But once again, on the flip side of getting weird as we get older,
it's
like I have friends whose coworkers, because dude, the workplace is another weird one.
Yeah, I have a lot of workplace friends
where guys are like, "Oh, we're like, let's go out for drinks because it's work." And you're the workplace friend.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this is a whole other segue too into this thing that's important. Is workplace relationships are fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, you spend more time with people if you work a normal office week than you do with your
your
loved ones.
Yeah.
Your friends, your fucking.
Yes.
So the people from work who are like, we should fucking get drinks. You want to fucking hang out this weekend? Like, what the fuck is going on in your life? Do you think we would? Why? You have nothing else going on that I'm now your guy?
We spend way too much time together
and
already.
That guy, all he does out of work is talk about work, or that female. Like, people who hang out outside of work, they don't then not talk about work. They talk more about work. And that is a bizarre, like, you have nothing going on in your fucking life.
Yeah.
There's a sadness to that that's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And that guy also is a creep. The guy who does that is a creep still. He wants to fuck, but he's using like spreadsheets.
Yeah.
An hour spent. Like, can you believe Deborah and
So, you know what's funny is I see not the opposite, but a different angle of that, of like when people work together, they get so close because they're spending so much time together.
Well, that is the flip side.
That term of like work wife, work husband.
Yeah.
The person that you're closest with at work.
Yes.
Is that even if you're in a relationship, is that like emotionally cheating?
Well, even if it's not physically, you're right. There's like this part of like you build a relation. There's an intimacy to that, which I understand that part too. But my point is that there's also people who base sex, like they get sexual based on those things too. But go home. There's people I've worked with where they're like, hey, you want to go golf this week? I'm like, no.
Are you kidding?
I want to see you again.
I've seen you 6 days this week.
Literally,
you want to see
you
each
every
other
moment of the day.
Tomorrow?
You want to have lunch? You're out of your fucking mind.
What are we going to talk about today?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what we did yesterday, which is when we're having this conversation.
Janet in billing was a giant bitch when she wrote that invoice. Like, shut the fuck up.
But, dude, when you're not doing stuff outside of work, too, sometimes, a lot of the times, like, that's all people have. Like, people have their work group, and then they don't have a life outside of work.
Now, do you feel sympathetic for that, or you feel that's weird?
No, you know what?
I'm really uncomfortable by the fact that, like, you have nothing. Like, go be charitable.
I'm not uncomfortable by it.
I assume that's how people join, like, give their time to charity. I assume people who, like...
CrossFit. People
yeah.
join, like, you got to have something else.
I
join something.
I thought CrossFit, yoga, and, CrossFit and, like,
Soul
soup
Cycle
kitchens are mostly, yoga and Soul Cycle are, like, white chicks who, want to cheat on their significant others. That's what I assume. And I have no basis for that. But I assume like soup kitchens and like Little League umpires are people who didn't have friends outside of work.
I mean, that's sad when you put it that way.
But that is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Who the fuck umps a Little League game?
I mean, me when I was in like 9th grade.
Sure.
That's
that
about
and masturbation.
That's really it.
Your 2 responsibilities throughout the day.
That's all you had to do. I used to ref soccer games when I was in like 8th grade. That was very
by the way, of things to ref, that's the wildest.
I mean, I remember reffing like soccer games with like
the amount of movement you have to do
my
just doesn't make any sense.
Young kids, and like the parents were so intense. I stopped doing it. I was like, this is too much. It was like you were getting like $6 a game.
And cursed out by some like
it was such a ripoff.
Dad who's going through a divorce, taking it out on you.
Motherfucker.
Fuck the poor boy.
Relax, sir.
He's 5. He's a prodigy.
Dude, that's a great example of
Pele.
Like, me as a kid just getting yelled at by adults and then it coming back. Yeah. That's too much. Too much. I can't handle it. It's too goddamn much. Is that lemon?
No one wants it. No one needs it. But here it is.
Ugh. Is there anything worse than a lemon White Claw? I mean, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I just can't. I feel like they made lemon and lime to be like, oh, look, it's like the most normal flavors, and then
you can't offend
anyone.
Here.
Gross. I'm not about it. I'm about watermelon and tangerine, mango, black cherry. That's it.
Let me ask you something very important.
You know the podcast is going well when we're talking about the flavors of drinks we're having.
Or our potential sponsors. Now that we lost the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Flat Earthers.
White Claw. If you want to get drunk.
No one's heard of them. If you want to drink malt liquor like homeless people but still count your calories, White Claw.
The Claw of White. What do you got, a question?
Trying to find one.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to... what are the best drugs/drinks to enjoy on a beach?
I feel like we're just talking about White Claws again.
White Claws seem like the standard answer right now, but are they?
What's better?
It's a good question. You literally win.
I mean, what would be better? Honestly, like a drink that tastes like water, like fruity water.
Doesn't taste like fruity water. It tastes like cancer.
But no, it doesn't.
You think they're good?
Oh, yeah. I think they're delicious.
It's malt liquor. Like, it tastes like something like, I know this isn't going to make me happy. But, I'm not going to get fat.
You know what the worst part about White Claw is? This is it. Is that you don't feel anything for, like, the first 12. And then on, like, the 12th and a half, you're like, I think I just had 12 drinks.
You're talking about PCP.
I feel like I am. I feel like that's the problem is like you don't feel anything and then all of a sudden it whacks you in the face. It just you take it and then nothing and then all of a sudden you're just like out. And then you wake up with a huge headache. Not good. Not great.
No one needs it. No one likes it.
No one needs it. No
White
one likes it. White Claw. Welcome to it. Well, I feel like we've hit a wall, Christian.
No, but let it ride. Like,
let it ride?
Yeah, dead air is good air.
Let us sit in silence? Okay. Well, this episode, who knows if it was good or not? I think it was good.
Everyone just say a prayer.
I think it was good.
Bow your head.
Dear Allah. Now, as we sit here, but I think we got a nice little ep there. So, do you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
I'm doing one of those flipping the signs. There's a warehouse going out by my apartment.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be on the side of the highway kind of holding up a sign, 40% off.
When is that going to be?
The next 72 hours.
Okay, cool. So that people can find you just at a warehouse flipping signs?
No, on the side of the street.
Yeah, but outside of the... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just
come by
on the side of the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
I suggest having a SUV so you can fit more stuff in it.
Congratulations. That's a great gig.
Thank you.
That's a great gig.
Hustle.
You can see me next. I'm going to be dressing up as a clown for a 7-year-old's birthday party and then an 8-year-old's birthday party right after that. So you can see me there, get tickets.
Are they related?
Before they're sold out. No, two
Irish
separate
twins. Oh, no,
two separate parties,
families.
but same neighborhood. How weird is that?
Yeah. I'm sure they play together.
Yeah.
It's weird that they wouldn't be invited to the same party.
You know what? I thought that was weird too, but apparently there's
the Hatfields and McCoy type situation.
Yeah, it's like pick your poison, pick your kids.
I hope you enjoy it.
Party. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. 2 shows in one day. That's a big deal. Yeah. So with that, we say good night and we say goodbye and we say, hey, stay safe.